Welcome. We just jamming right now.
Biden.
And welcome everybody to the Contemporary Comrades podcast. It's your boy Heavy J. Man, I'm excited to be here as always, man. We got a great fucking show tonight, as always, again. As you come in, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, all that good shit, because we got some fire stuff coming. To my right, you already know who it is, Corn, the maestro himself of the Half-Ass Podcast, the co-host, co-conspirator of the Contemporary Comrades. You already know what it is. Say what's up, man.
Yo, what's up, everybody, man? Yo, it feels good to be back. Thank you guys for tuning in over the weekend with the interview and then helping support the channel with our other videos as well, catching us live. Look, tonight we got another banger we got for y'all. Hey, sit back and enjoy the show.
Yes, indeed. We definitely appreciate all the support as of late, for sure, with all the videos and all the stuff we've been doing, man. We really appreciate it. And so does our so do our analytics. So we have you all to thank for that. So but man, we're gonna get right into it as per usual. The first, I'm gonna go ahead and get shit popping here with the screen share. The first article we're gonna kind of go over is let's see, let me get my screen right here. It's not coming up like it should be. There it goes. So the first article we're going to go over here is a P.B.S. lawyer was caught on camera, video and audio, saying that government should build Enlightenment camps and remove children from Trump-supporting homes. Wow. Is that now before we even read anything, Corn, like does that sound equal to you? Does that sound fair to you at all?
No, not at all, man. This is madness. This is straight up madness.
Yeah.
We'll get more into it, but yeah, already, like when I first saw the topic, like when I first saw the title, I was like, what the fuck am I about to read?
Yeah. So I'll just read a little bit. This is mostly an opinion-based article. I'm just gonna read a little bit here and there, but then the real thing is the video of this guy, man. So it says here, this is what the leftists, along with those that support their agenda, think about Americans. It's in their own words. I think that's a little bit of a, again, brash statement. She said, the dude says, and this is P.B.S. principal counsel Michael Beller, who was chatting with I guess it's some Project Veritas. I guess it's a undercover guerrilla journalist is what they call themselves. And he was having a chat with one of them, and he kind of was speaking candidly. So anyway, he says Americans are so fucking dumb. You know, most people are dumb. I mean,
he's not wrong there.
He's not necessarily wrong there. and it says, this article says here, Beller's just saying what I would say over and over, what I would hear over and over again in Washington, D.C. parties and pubs. He's not the exception. His disdain for our nation makes my stomach turn, blah, blah, yada, yada. So this article is very opinionated. What I'm going to do instead is just go ahead and play the video, because really it just paraphrases the video.
Then when Biden wins, we'll go through all the Republican voters and Homeland Security will take your children away. Okay? And we'll put them into re-education camps.
Amen.
In these times, which are unique. I mean, it's close to him.
What are we going to do if we don't like it? It doesn't
Go to the White House and throw Molotov cocktails. These kids who are growing up knowing nothing but Trump, for 4 years, you gotta wonder what else they're gonna be like. Are we raising a generation of intolerant, horrible people, horrible kids? Enlightenment camps.
Right.
They're nice. They have Sesame Street characters in the classroom, and they watch P.B.S. all day.
I want to go home and watch it.
Dumb. Most people are dumb. It's good to live in a place where people are, educated and know stuff. And can you imagine if you lived in one of these other towns or states where everybody's just stupid? What's great is like COVID is spiking in all the red states right now. So that's great.
Why do you think so?
Because either those people are going to come out to vote for Trump, because the red states, or a lot of them are sick and dying. P.B.S. has like real news. But CNN doesn't have real news anymore. It's just talking heads talking about Trump all day long. I can't stand it. I mean, every once in a while I look at Fox News and it makes me want to throw up after 5 minutes. It's all this Joe Biden shit now, all that Joe Biden, scandal, which is all made up. It's all ridiculous. And they are pushing it so hard. It's unbelievable.
So do you guys just ignore it?
Yeah.
Well. So I find that interesting for a lot of reasons. First one being, now I'm not going to play this as a like I'm siding with one side or the other, because again, if you all have listened to podcasts for any bit of a time, we always have to fucking preface that, because people like to put labels on shit when you don't condemn one thing or another. You condemning both is not good, right? Condemning both is not enough for people. So, but that's what we do here. We condemn both because it's both shit. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Corn, but is the quote unquote left's stance really not, it's supposed to be equality and justice and fairness and everybody kind of gets the same things. Like, this guy is like the things that I see people in the left literally silencing people on the right for, this guy just said. And he's the head of, he's the fucking the principal counsel at P.B.S. Like, talking about, these people need to die. We'll put the kids in Enlightenment camps because they're being brainwashed by their Trump supporting parents. Like, what's more brainwashing? Trump supporters or this guy? Or are they two sides of the same coin? Because that's really what it's looking like to me.
Clearly, I can't even, because now you put in Trump supporters. I can't even say.
Well, that's what he's talking about.
But I mean, who's crazier? Yes, I'd say both sides of the coin. Given last week, man, that was clear evidence that, all right, yeah, there goes the human nature of the other side. Now we've seen the human nature of both sides. Now we've seen I wouldn't even say human nature. I would just say the brain. It's not even human nature, but just brainwash. Like, everybody's so brainwashed, we think it's human nature at this point.
Yeah. Which
one could probably debate that it is human nature to just lash. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get what you want, you lash out after, time after time. I'm not gonna say I understand it, but to an extent, I probably could. Now you're saying who's closer to Hitler, this guy or the Trump supporters? Clearly, this guy.
Yeah.
Clearly, this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, do we stop at the word camp, or do we keep going? What? Like that was my first thought. Was like, all right, Enlightenment camps. Well, whenever you hear the word camp now, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's never anything, good
Positive.
or beneficial.
I started realizing that anything in terms of camp is not gonna be good when they start turning, boys can join Girl Scouts, and I realized, okay, from now on, we're not using the word camp. We're gonna add words to the dictionary, take words away. Let's take the word camp away from the fucking dictionary at this point.
Right.
What this dude was saying about these Enlightenment camps, to me, shocking. Honestly, again, like, I'm not surprised, but I keep getting shocked by this kind of stuff. Like, where it's like, I can't believe somebody actually came out and said something like this. Like, are you kidding me?
Right.
You supported this one person. Let's put you in. But here's the funny thing: correct me if I'm wrong, Jaron, but didn't in the video, old dude was kind of bashing Biden as well.
A little bit. It seemed like it was. Yeah.
Wasn't he saying like they're trying to push all this shit on us? It's all made up with the whole Biden shit as well. And I'm like,
I think he was talking about the Hunter Biden shit because Fox News, because he was talking about Fox News in reference to Biden.
But I think at some point in there he said something about CNN. He couldn't even watch CNN either. Right. But maybe I could be wrong.
Yeah, he did. No, he did say that. Yeah, he did say that. Yeah, so man, I don't
he's the kind of I won't even say he had me in the first half because again after reading that fucking title, but you dismiss a couple of things he said. He had me in the first half, but that entire second half, literally, go back to what he was saying. And he was saying that, they're all brainwashed. All the kids, they're all brainwashed. They're going to grow up. And what do you think they're going to amount to society? What do you think they're going to do to economy? What do you think they're going to do to society when they get older? And they're talking about the Trump supporter kids get older. Like, I'm like, fam, like at this point, we cannot take you serious.
Seriously.
We can't.
No.
At this point, we cannot take you serious when you start spouting out stuff like that. When you start saying, "Oh, this president," I'm still trying to figure out why are we trying to blame one person for every single thing. It's funny because before this, we tried to say, "Oh, the president." Well, I can't say we. I was saying that the president is always going to be the poster boy for America. That's all he is. It's a glorified poster boy, and what I like to always say, scapegoat. But now we're actually starting to see where the president is the scapegoat for every negative thing. Even you yourself said that you talked to Democrats or people that aren't Republican and try explaining them the shit that Trump's done, and they tried to tell you that you were wrong.
Mm-hmm. It's like in legislature, and it was just off some
facts.
Yeah, it wasn't even opinion. Yeah.
Like, it's not you said, "Oh, Trump was a good president." No, you just said, "Hey, look at what he's done for the black community." Just saying. And what did they say back to you? You are dead wrong.
You're dead wrong.
That's what they did.
Coon.
That's the kind of world we live in, where we give them facts, we give them evidence, and they still say we're wrong. Or they just ban you, or they cancel you, or they censor you, or they take down your channel, or they take down your account from places. Like, who the fuck knows what is next?
And it's this is a prime example. Like what we're talking
Trump
about.
Can't even use his fucking cell phone. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds in 2021? The president of the United States has no use with his cell phone except to call and text message people. Which I'm surprised Sprint didn't just come out and say, "Oh, we're cutting down your service." Like, at this point. I never thought I'd have this conversation with society. I never thought that I'd be talking, to the people, essentially, about this stupid shit. About how the president of the United States is being banned and censored and all this other bullshit. For what? Not because he got on camera and showed his ass. Not because he's running around giving a middle finger literally to people. No, none of that. It's because they don't agree with opinions.
Pretty much.
This is what we saw 5 years ago to a max. To a max. They did not slow down in turning that knob. This is to the max.
Yep.
You're censoring essentially, at least to what we as a people see, the most powerful person in the country. That is nuts.
What's usually touted as the most powerful person in the world to those who don't know. Because again, America's a superpower. The president of the superpower is the most powerful person.
So but now we're seeing people like this guy getting like I said in that article, where old dude, people just like that dude are getting traction and they're getting power and support from the people. And when that happens, dude, that is more dangerous. That is more dangerous than any political figure you could ever think of. Is when the people are behind someone, when society, and I'm not saying all, obviously not all, but when a large chunk of society, you'd be surprised at how powerful some. Look at what fucking Charles Manson did with fucking 4 people. 4 people. 4 people believed in what and believed in him and what he accomplished with only 4 people. That is crazy. Now, again, that's probably a terrible fucking example, but I mean, you get what I mean, though, right? Like,
that's how powerful my control is. Yes.
So many powerful figures over, in history of humanity, history of planet Earth. They've become leaders because of the people. Now you do have your political people that have been quote unquote voted and or people that have inherited positions, stuff like that. But they're very powerful, but I still think the most powerful people are the people that can brainwash, that can take brainwash people, blind sheep, and lead them into fucking war. This dude clearly said America sucks and DC is the only fucking city. It's like, fuck you, like half baked. Like that scene, like literally, and I don't get what's so he still didn't explain to me or to anybody what's so special about DC. He just said that, DC is what do you say? DC is a nice city, and then everywhere else in America sucks or some shit like that, like literally like that, right?
People in DC are smart and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, people in DC are, and America is fucking dumb, and it's just like.
Yeah.
Well, you're not wrong about America, but DC, I don't know if you noticed, but DC is not only a part of America, but DC is the capital of America. So if the rest of America is dumb, I'm pretty sure DC is going to be dumb too. But anyways,
well, DC is different for a lot of weird reasons, but it's limited to people.
But at the end of the day, man, I look at it like this. There's people like this dude, powerful people, or people that are going to be powerful in the future, that they're going to look at America the same way this guy looks at America, and they're going to start some shit that they're not going to be able to stop. They will. Like I said before, I do believe we will see war here on American soil. Never thought I'd say that 10 years ago. But we're to the point now where I believe it's, and I'm not saying people should be afraid of America, not by any means, and I'm a veteran saying that. Like, used to be, though. I mean, there are countries that are afraid of America, still a lot, but what I'm saying, like, it's a fact that yes, there are countries that are afraid of America. But what I'm saying is, even me as a veteran, someone who has served for the I was America's #1 slave for 4 years. All right. And I'm still saying that we shouldn't, no country should be afraid of us. And I still have pride with saying that. Like, it's nothing new coming from me. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't be, like, no country should be afraid of America. However, what I'm actually trying to get across is this. I still never thought that any country would ever really I wouldn't say have a reason, but actually have a legit reason to even want to attack America. And this dude is he's trying to come up with a legit reason to try and attack. Now, I'm not saying this is a war he's trying to start. Like, I'm not saying he's trying to do that, but not saying that he's not trying to do that as well. But at the end of the day, I'm not saying war is going to be all out guns blazing war. War could be any kind of war here on American soil. Mm-hmm. War could be going into people's homes, taking, if you signed off, you voted for, because everybody fucking put out their personal information for these voting ballots, for the mail-in ballots and shit. So now if you live in a household that had a well-known Trump supporter, now they're going to come in and take your kids. Or that's the way I look at it, is they're going to come in. I don't know if you ever watched this movie, Prince of Egypt. Remember that movie, Prince of Egypt?
Yeah.
About Moses, where, everybody, they were going in people's homes, that Bible story where they were going in people's homes and taking all their kids and killing them.
Yep.
I'm not saying they're going to be doing all. I'm not Alex Jones on here trying to say they're going to come into your homes and they're going to kill all your children. I'm not saying all that. But what I am saying is they are going to come, like, they're trying to get to the point where they're going to come into your home, take your kids, and put them in these fucking camps, Enlightenment camps. And we all know, like I just said 20 minutes ago, nothing good comes out of any kind of camp. Hell, not even training camp. Just ask Aaron Rodgers. But seriously, that's the way I look at it, Jaron, is that's what they're trying to do to us.
Hey, you hit the nail on the head pretty good. I feel a lot of what you said. I think there's a dangerous. I think we're walking on dangerous territory right now with all this shit.
Are we though?
Yeah, I think we are. Like, when I say dangerous, I mean the propaganda, the mind control, the programming is so strong right now. I feel like they're gearing up for something weird to go down, because and the thing is, people are wanting weird shit to happen too. That's why I really think something's really going to go down. Because
what do you mean by that?
I don't know, man. I'm just seeing a lot
of wanting something weird to happen.
People are wishing, like you've got first off, this censorship of the president shit. People are cheering and excited and glad and happy that he's getting censored. They just censored the largest and oldest online gun forum in existence. They just deplatformed that at a web hosting level. So basically their website overlord essentially deplatformed them.
Whoa. You can't just gloss over that. You can't just say that and just gloss over. Whoa. Wait, go back.
Yeah.
The largest gun forum on the internet.
On the internet just got censored.
Deplatformed?
Yes. AR15.com. Yeah. Or .org or whatever the hell it is. Yeah.
So how does that even happen? Like,
their web host
kicked off the internet,
nixed their fucking service. That's how that happened. GoDaddy, I think it was. Their web host nixed their shit. Yeah, like people are cheering this shit on. Oh yeah, good. Censor Trump. He's promoting hate speech and he's inciting riots. Where? Do you no, answer me this honestly, answer me this. Do you think what he said directly caused people to, quote unquote, storm the Capitol, even though the police let them in the Capitol?
No. And it's sad that we live in a world that the president of the United States, and again, I'll say the same thing I said the first day. Again, I know people might try and mistake me for a Trump supporter on this fucking podcast, but trust me, I'm not. Dude, but at the end of the day, I don't have anything to hate to do for either. I'm not just gonna sit there and say I hate the guy just to be on a bit. Like, no, like, I don't care. But at the end of the day, what he said was not leading that like it should not have led to anything violent because what he said did not incite any kind of violence. And it's sad the fact that the president of the United States has to get on TV, which I'm surprised he's not banned from TV too, but he gets on TV and says that he did not condone any violence. Like, why should he have to get on? Why should the president have to get on a fucking microphone and go back and say, look, what I said did not mean, he said, I want everything to be nonviolent from here on out. Like, why does he have to say that? Why does the president have to get on the platform and say that? He shouldn't have to fucking say that. He shouldn't. If it was Obama, people would be calling fucking Congress racist. Say, you're saying a black man non-violent, blah, 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 blah. But yet, you're doing the same thing to somebody that clearly did not incite any kind of violence.
That's why I say, man, we're living through the greatest psyop the world has ever fucking known thus far. Like, we're at the crossroads of so much transitional shit to go down on a worldwide level right now. And like the fact that shit's playing out the way it's playing out is it's just playing into everything that we've been saying on this podcast since its inception. Honestly. Like we did 2 light episodes for first and second episodes we ever did, but from that third episode forward, it was money. It was game time. You feel me? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like this shit has moved from a freight train pace to a fucking damn near a damn jet pace, like a fucking fighter jet pace. Like the FBI comes out and says that they are planning for armed protests in all 50 states and all 50 city capitals of those states from the what do they say, from the 16th to the 20th or something like that. In all 50
armed protests in all 50
God
states. Damn. I knew I should have got it. I knew I should have got a gun last year. God fucking damn it.
That's what the FBI came out and said is going to happen. Now, whether
hopefully nobody's mistakes it for a fucking Democrat, I'll be okay. I'll be safe. I guess I might as well go buy me a fucking MAGA hat right now so that nobody fucking shoots me.
Right, or it might shoot you. Who knows? No, I hope
at that point it'll be black on black crime, wouldn't it? No, I'm just kidding.
It would be white supremacy because you're black. that's how that works, right? No, I'm just kidding.
God damn, dude. I did not know that whole thing about the armed protest. That shit. And they're saying, oh, it's gonna be God damn it, dude. Fuck. Oh my god.
Show that.
Fuck them, dude. Seriously?
Yeah. They've already fenced around the entire Capitol for the inauguration and shit. They fenced around. They've got the I think it's 12 or 20,000 National Guard there. They're bruh.
People need to calm the fuck down.
That's what I'm saying.
If they just
we are living through the greatest psyop of our time, bruh.
Or you could say the worst. But oh my god, dude, this is uncalled for, man. Like when the FBI is like, "Hey, we're anticipating an armed protest and pretty much at damn near everywhere." Like these niggas, the fucking purge, man.
Yeah, man. We're in for some interesting shit ahead. Now,
I'm calling it right now. By the end of the summer, they're going to announce the first purge. And it's sad that I'm saying that with all seriousness. That's the fucking problem. That's the fucking problem, Jay. Is that I'm saying that shit with 100% seriousness. Hell, July 4th is in summer, right? Perfect timing.
Bruh.
Happy Purge Day, right? Happy July 4th. Happy Purge Day. I don't know, man.
Hey, I mean, we saw Purge Election Day, did we not?
Yeah.
They set that stage for us, did they not?
Yeah. Even though that one was based off of the 2016 election, but yes.
Right.
Yes.
But
yes. But that was to throw everybody off, I believe. But
Exactly.
yes.
And what did we say? And what did we read for you all a few months ago? Was that an election simulation that ended in civil unrest, martial law, and everything that everybody's saying is going to be happening soon anyway? Did we not read that for you all? Did we not break that down for y'all? So again, what dude, I hate fucking presenting this information and then this shit actually fucking happens. Like I hate it, man. Like that shit has happened so many times on this fucking podcast. Or we've said something's gonna happen and predicted it and then it happened. It's just like, dude. Like we're not like look, that's how you know we're not crazy. Like they're telling us what they're doing. Now, am I sitting here saying that something's going to happen on January 20th? No, I'm not sitting here saying that. But I'm saying that they might make something happen. Because I didn't necessarily think anything wild like that was going to happen on the 6th. But that might have been the teaser. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? So now everybody's anticipating something bad going to happen. Everybody's thinking about that. They're getting that energy behind that.
Wait, when's inauguration day? You said the 20th?
Yeah.
So I wonder why it's going to be the 16th to the 20th. They think it's going to be the armed protest.
People would be pre-protesting.
Was that like over like a weekend? That's like everybody's like weekends gathering is like a fucking armed fucking like if they're gonna lie to us and try and incite some fucking violence and try and lie to us to get us to start violence. That's a terrible fucking lie to tell us. We're anticipating armed protests from the 16th to the... Where the fuck do you get the 16th from? Like, the inauguration is on the fucking 20th.
You got to remember, they're in it. They're in all these chat rooms. They're in all this shit.
What makes you think it's going to be a fucking...
Shit. So if people are talking about
16th,
planning this shit, they see it.
I suppose you're right.
I mean, that's what I can think. I mean, they've passed all these fucking laws to be able to read everything you do and say and know how many times they take a shit and all this other stuff. Pretty soon they're gonna be putting smart diapers on you and shit. So you already know they're gonna be able to say, oh, a lot of people seem to be, let's correlate this data point with this data point and this data point. Oh, we'll put together, what people are planning on doing around this time. And then they'll say, oh, maybe we can take this and we can enhance it to get things moving the way they should be moving. Trump slowed us up too much. Fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that.
The 16th is on a Saturday. So Saturday, 17th, Sunday, 18th, Monday, 19th. Damn, so that's 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
So from Saturday to Wednesday, they're expecting a fucking war zone.
Yeah, they said and potentially and beyond. So
Jesus Christ.
So I've already had people hit me up saying they don't think there's even going to be an inauguration. I said, well, Trump said there would be a peaceful transition of power. It's the media that's saying everything else. I'm like, so what do you think is going to happen? You think it's going to be something crazy, or you think it's going to be, quote unquote peaceful? Because again, where's the incitement? It's the media. It's the FBI, the CIA stirring all these pots, drumming all this shit up.
Well, we thought that it was going to be
silencing him, taking off all these right-wing websites and all these right-wing web pages, just pissing them off more and more and more, as much as they possibly can. Oh, we're going to impeach the motherfucker now again with a week and a half left in office and all this other dumb shit.
That's what I'm
people
saying.
All to the point that they are going to then will themselves into existence.
That's what I'm saying.
Another fucking hassle on the 20th. You see what I'm saying? Like this is the we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Like this is the fucking like how can you not see this? And then you got people on the left saying the same shit. Like, oh, we hope all them we're glad that one chick from the thing got killed. Fuck her, all this other shit. People who hated the police now all of a sudden love the police.
But yeah, it was wrong for people to say shit about that one chick that got killed, that got ran over in Charlottesville, downtown.
Right. You can't say nothing about Heather Heyer, but you can say something about what's her name.
And again, we don't even explain ourselves because we're not on either side. It's both sides they want to talk their shit, and then when it's time for them to take an L, when they fuck up, then nobody can say anything. They don't want to be called out. Like, it's both sides. That's politics. Period. That's what they do to y'all. Like,
yep.
And do I think something's going to happen? Do I think the inauguration is actually going to? I think inauguration. I mean, look, we said the same thing about election day. Everybody, DC. Speaking of places, speaking of DC, they were the first to board up their fucking town or city.
Yep.
And nothing happened. All over the country, election night, quiet. Election week, quiet. So inauguration, all this shit. But then again, the only difference between leading up to the inauguration and leading up to election day, there wasn't any violence. There wasn't any turmoil. Well, we already got turmoil. And we got a bunch of unhappy Trump supporters too. That is the part that people do not think about.
Mm-hmm.
They are. I don't even know at this point if this is even legal for me to even say something like this. But I feel like they are waiting for something big, and again, like for the Democrats to do something big, and again, I'm not, I'm not inciting anything or nothing like that. Just in case, I don't know. Again, I don't know if I can even legally say some shit like that. I don't fucking know.
I think you're straight.
But like I think that's what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna do something stupid, something even more stupid than what they did last week. You got people complaining now about how they're being arrested. Look, man, there were people arrested at the fucking riots over the summer. There were people shot at over the riots over the summer.
Yep.
One person got killed here. Again, like you guys took an L, but you guys didn't take it as big of an L as, even though it was their fault. And I'd say this one is y'all's fault too. So again, both sides, politically speaking, both sides taking an L. They're going to continue taking L's just because the Democrats now are fucking running every fucking thing right now. And they're just, again, it's a game. It's a game they're playing. That's literally all it is. They're playing a game with the country.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying, okay, this side is going to represent this agenda. That side's going to represent that agenda. Mm-hmm. It just so happens that the entertainment agenda and the agenda of influence just so happens to be Democrat because they pander to the right crowd. Mm-hmm. So, and the right crowd are, the crowd that they pander to. So, or the crowds, I should say, they pander to. There's more than one. You say what?
I said that's self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's self-explanatory who they pander to and why they pander to them. The only thing is, I just don't. What really baffles me is somebody like me, and I shouldn't do it to myself too much because I am a free thinker. I've always been someone who thinks for himself, mm-hmm. But it's weird to me how I was not able to bite, at least for long, when it came to shit like this. But yet people are so easy to just get triggered by something stupid and something small, especially stuff that has nothing to do with them. That's the one thing that really gets me. It's just like, I understand why people get mad where certain social justice situations happen. But what about just social situations, period? When shit like that happens, when two people get in an argument and shit pops off, or two people get in an argument and one person has an opinion, another person has an opinion, and now people want to make it political. People want to make every single thing political for no fucking reason. Like I said it before, and I'll say it again. It is a never-ending real life game of 2K. That's what it is. You're so addicted to this fucking game that you will take it so serious that now it's your real life. Now it's real life. Now it's, I don't want to work with Democrats. I don't want to work with Republicans, or I don't want to work with a Trump supporter, or my boss is a I don't know what they would call a Biden supporter, but you know what I mean. My boss is a Democrat, whatever, or all the. I just saw one story the other day where an old dude was complaining that the not a secretary. They call them secretaries now. Is that offensive? That's not offensive yet, right? To call somebody a secretary.
No, I don't think it's offensive
Okay.
yet.
Okay, it's not offensive yet. I know it's going to be offensive, but I just want to make sure it's not offensive yet. Old dude was talking about secretary. Old dude at work. He doesn't work. I didn't work with him. He ate there, but he was telling me the other day how he called the secretary's boss. Like he called the office, the firm that he went to, because the secretary was a Kamala Harris fan. What was this? Oh my God, a Kamala Harris supporter. I shouldn't say. Well, I guess you probably could say fan. Fan. But yeah, they're a Kamala Harris supporter. I'm like, well, she's an idiot for being a Kamala Harris supporter, but it's nothing to call their. Like, I didn't tell him this because it's none of my fucking business. But I'm thinking to myself, like, see, that's the problem right there. It's just like you like, for what?
Yep.
Like, yeah, at the end of the day, she may be an idiot for being a Kamala Harris fan. I agree with you on that, but you're calling, like, y'all niggas are taking this shit like it's fucking 2K. Just dead ass serious all the fucking time about a game, about a fucking game that they are trying to make everyone play.
Literally. Look, in this game, there's no winner. Oh, wait. Let me put it that way. There is a winner. It's not us. I can tell you that. It's going to be none of us who win this perpetual never-ending game of 2K that everybody's playing or allowing themselves to play. And look, honestly, it's too late at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's too late to get quote unquote woke and try and discovering like the power structure, and like you need a Cliff Notes version right now. You need to get ready at this point. Like we're past. At this point we're past fucking. Taking that 5 years, 10 years of research you really need to be able to really, or at least hearing people spit the shit to you to really get a grasp for that and break free from all the mind control. Fucking, like. I don't know if we even have that much time left, because in 10 years we all gonna be walking around with chips and digital tattoos. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna change the way everybody works. They're gonna change the way everybody eats, sleeps, drives. Out of this shit, out of what's going on right now. I know people who are sitting here saying, "Oh, I hope that something happens. I hope that they take it, arrest all those Democrats and arrest all those Republicans." I'm like, you really think that the people who are controlling things are going to sit there and arrest the puppets they have in place to make sure that their plan goes into action? Like, are you fucked? Like you're on, like you got to be fucked up in the head to think that these people are or that anybody's going to be brought to any sort of law or justice from this shit. And if it is, it's going to be pure fucking theater, in my opinion. Now, again, whatever happens to Trump after this shit happens to Trump after this shit. It's beyond us. It's beyond any Trump supporter. It's beyond any Republican, and it's beyond any conservative, because those are all three different things at this point. You can't lump conservatives in with Trump supporters, and you can't lump Republicans in with conservatives or with Trump supporters, because they all have shown, just like you can't lump a Biden supporter in with a fucking Democrat with a whatever. Although they do seem to align a little bit more than the right at this point, which is another interesting thing. And that all seemed to just dissolve magically, like poof, in the thin air on the 6th. Because that was such a polarizing event for the entire country, the entire world. It's got China looking at us sideways. It's got North Korea looking at us sideways. It's got these countries who've been chomping at the bit, waiting to get them a piece of America, looking at us sideways. They're like, America's implementing those same acts of war and those same wartime tactics to destabilize a nation on themselves that they used in all of the Middle East for the past 20 years. Wow. I think this might actually be the chance that we can get to fuck up America, because we know that they're very successful at fucking up other countries and they're doing the exact same tactics on their own country right now. Why do you think that is? Is it because we need to usher in a global order? We need to all make sure everybody's equal and reset the global economy because COVID? Or is it because Trump was president and we need to purge him and anybody who thinks like him and anybody who ever liked him and rewrite history at the same time while we do it? Is that what we're after here? Because that's where we're headed. And oh, by the way, it's also at the will of the people. Remember that, because these motherfuckers can't do anything like this without the energy and the will of the people behind it. And they're getting that. So, look, we're in interesting times, folks. That's really all I got to say. We're in interesting fucking times. If you go and study the destabilization of Venezuela, African nations, just go study American foreign policy, and just go look at the methods of destabilization. Read CIA documents about that have been declassified about war tactics and how they destabilize nations. It's the same thing that's going on right now in our own country. The same thing being done by the same people, no less. It's not rocket science, and these other countries see it. So, again, that's my little rant for this shit, man. Corny, what you got, man?
The reasoning for them storming the Capitol, do you see their reasoning any more valuable? Actually, no, I shouldn't say valuable. That's a fucked up word. Do you see their reasoning for storming the Capitol more common sense, or does it make more sense for them to storm the Capitol than it did for them rioting last summer?
As far as what? As far as like pushing an agenda, or as far as actually getting anything accomplished?
The reasoning for them actually wanting to storm the Capitol, and the reason for all the fucking people rioting last summer, do you think the differences in the reasons, or like they're separate reasons, does any of them actually carry any weight? Like, does one carry more weight than the other, should I say? Like,
oh, that's a good question. Shit. I would say I think they're pretty equal, but I think I would actually no. I would say the Capitol, quote unquote, well, the Capitol bull run, if you will, I'd say was a little more significant, only because that side of things, that the right, they've always been known to be the more kind of quote unquote civil, the more, again, conservative, the more laid back. Like they might show up, with dripped up and draped out, you feel me? But they might not be doing anything. Like,
and my thing is that's the problem between the conservatives and the Trump supporters, is they're like it's basically how we look at niggas. Like, we like, man, look at these niggas making it bad for us. Like, making us look like we're all like this. And now look at what the conservatives are like. They're like, damn, look at these niggas making us look like we all like this. Like, what I'm saying? Right. So like, I just didn't know if I was the only person that looked at it that way. If there was actually a reason, like what makes people, besides brainwashing, which we already know what that is, but if those quote unquote legit reasons that they had for rioting, or the quote unquote legit reasons they had for storming the Capitol, if any of those reasons meant more to society, if there was actually a reason, like if anybody would actually see a reason for anybody rioting, or anybody could actually see any of those reasons to actually storm the Capitol, you know what I mean? Because I think those are two shit reasons. Like, those reasons for them rioting, shit reason for them storming the Capitol, shit reason. Like, both of those are super like there's nothing I can't. Again, it's weird because I can't say there's nothing you can do about either of those situations, because you can to an extent, but yeah.
I mean, I think that the Capitol is just a little worse. Not necessarily because it's the Capitol. I think honestly, I mean, if you want to look at it based off a principle, if you're, they went right to what, as a quote unquote American, you would think you need to go to. Oh, we're pissed off with how things went. We're going to go to the fucking Capitol building. They're there. You know what I'm saying? The people who change things are there. Whereas over here, you had people, you know what I'm saying, burning, looting their own, cities and stores and.
But to play devil's advocate, they did protest first. Not all of them, obviously.
Right.
But
right. And also,
there are people that did protest the day before they started those riots. Let's not forget about that.
That's true. And they did also attack some of their own city, legislative buildings as well, or state legislative buildings as well. So, I mean, again, it's apples and it's like you're comparing sack sizes here. It's like, okay, who did what, because I fucking, dude, we took down the fucking all the black owned businesses in the
I
name
was in
of
Nancy Pelosi's office.
Right. Well, yeah, dude, but we stormed the fucking Capitol building. So what? Like, what are you gonna do about it, bro?
I took a shit on Nancy Pelosi's desk.
Right. Right. Yeah, dude, I stormed the fucking Capitol in a fucking horned Viking hat. Like, and you telling me this shit ain't scripted? You telling me this shit ain't? Like, come on.
I don't know, man. Like, again, like that whole scripted thing, I'm still unsure about. But like again, that we're gonna have to agree to disagree on the whole.
That's
thing.
fair.
But
that's fair. I'm saying
it is a very. I believe it is more historic. I believe that Capitol building is going to be something that's going to be put in. I mean, don't get me wrong; those riots are going to be put in a history book too. But the whole the Viking, like, there's no way people are going to learn about all this quote unquote. What they're going to teach in school anyways. When people our age start having the kids that are growing up in the schools, they're going to try and tell us this horrible story about they stormed the Capitol building, and what are you going to see on that page? What are you going to see on the page of their fucking books? And you like people like you and me, the people our age are going to be like, what the fuck? We lived this. Like, we saw that. I trip out every time I think about a history book and like starting to see like the next, like starting to see us in like our maybe like 30s and 40s and like look at the history books of like people like the kids that are, growing up in that day and age. Like, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Cause even I still look at, we had to get used to seeing 9/11 in history books so damn fast. Imagine 2020 and 2021 already in the history books. Like that's gonna be nuts.
It's already in
and
there.
All you're gonna see is this dude with a Viking helmet inside of the fucking office, chilling. Like and
it's going to be called an insurrection and a siege, and it was going to be incited by the president who did all this, that, and the other. Because again, that history is going to be written by, history's always written by the victors, right? What are they doing? They're erasing that one side of thought, that one voice. They're erasing all that, and everything is going digital now. Anyway, all the history books and quote unquote the record is turning digital faster than ever, right?
You know history more than I do. Has this ever happened to another president before? Like a president being censored, a president pretty much getting their public voice taken away from.
No, I don't think so. I mean, there have been multiple impeachment attempts on presidents, but I don't think. I don't think that one's been censored to the point like this. But also, Trump
didn't try to impeach Clinton?
Yeah, they did try. Well, he did technically, I guess, get sort of impeached, but Trump's the first president to ever use social media or like kind of have that sort of normal type of message style and address style to the public before. Like that's a whole other thing. People saw themselves in Trump because he wasn't all like super proper and all businessy. He was like talking shit about people on social media, and like that's what people do on social media is talk shit. So he's just doing as you know, as a normie, right? So you get people feeling that kind of way about him. So like, of course, you know, that gives these, you know, these big tech companies who have been censoring powerful voices on the internet for a decade now at this point. Now they see Trump as a threat. Now they see Trump as some sort of, you know, inciter of violence and all this other bullshit. That's really just psyop, right? They see Trump as that. So now they're saying, okay, well, we're going to deplatform him on literally fucking everything. Dude can't even order food on his phone if he wants to, because Shopify snagged him all. Like, and yeah, it's a result of, you know, and I think all that really is in essence is just fuel for the flame that is the right now. Is really what I think all that. That's just like the most ultimate, that's the purest burning fuel you could ever fuel a fire with. It's like all that.
Yeah, I mean,
because that pisses off average people like you and me who don't like anybody or anything being censored.
Yeah.
We're completely against censorship, period, especially at that level. But what's coming out of that, you know, Trump's gotten censored. Press TV got censored, which is an Iranian news station, by Facebook. Ron Paul got censored by Facebook. AR-15 got deplatformed, censored by GoDaddy. Like this is just all in like the past couple of days. And these are big people. These are big, impactful, if you will, things and people. So now that we're getting this mass censorship of quote unquote.
I'm kind of curious about the AR-15 thing. Like, can they just make their own website now, or no?
No, that's where their website was hosted. Deplatform them. The place that
so now they can
their website.
So does that mean like they had like some sort of contract with GoDaddy?
Well, yeah, I mean, you sign a contract when you use their services, but I don't think it was a term of service breach from what I saw. Now they might have found another web host, but
okay, because I was thinking like they got kicked off the internet. Then I was like, well, now we have a bigger problem.
No, well, Amazon, what did they do? Amazon just what's that Parler app or whatever the fuck that shit's called? Amazon Web Services took them off the fucking AWS. So I don't even think they can't be in the Play Store. They can't be on AWS. You can't even download the API, I don't think, to even like shade your way into the program or into the app. Like they got snagged up too. Apparently that's some sort of conservative app or whatever you want to call it. I had never heard of it really until like a month or two ago. People talking about Parler. I never even used the shit, but yeah, there's a big deal about them getting deplatformed. Like all this censorship and all this deplatforming for all these, you know, all these, I don't know if you call them right-wing organizations or whatever. These people are, you know, they're rewriting that history book that you're talking about that's going to be in the near future. They're rewriting that because they're taking off a whole train of thought. It's gone. Peace. See you never. So,
and then we're going to see it. We're going to be like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much, man.
This is the craziest time. Trump is the most hated president.
Gotta be.
And it sucks for me to say that I see why. Like I see how easy it is for them for people to be brainwashed into hating him. And that is what makes me so mad. It's just like I'm not a big Trump fan or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, like they attack this dude to try and win numbers for voting that doesn't even matter.
It doesn't fucking matter. I'm saying it's the great psyop of our time.
It's just like you're brainwashed. At this point, you're brainwashing for no reason. I mean, yes, you are brainwashing for a reason. Yes. But temporarily, you're brainwashing them for no reason. Because it's like, let's brainwash you into voting for something, for somebody that we already put in place. Oh, by the way, your votes don't count. But yet people don't understand that. They're getting people mad just for people to be getting mad at this point.
Right.
Just to hate on one man, just to censor, just so that it can turn back and work on them.
Exactly. And everybody's falling for a hook, line, and sinker like they always fucking do. They always do. because it's bullshit compounded on top of bullshit, compounded on top of bullshit. It's farce on top of farce on top of farce. Like it's layers and layers deep, and people can't even find their way out of it at this point. Like there's so much bullshit compounded on top of so much other bullshit. Like if you're lost in the sauce, you're lost in the fucking sauce at this point. Like, you know, we do this podcast because we want to try and wake people up. We want to try and get people, you know, to at least see things from another perspective, and then come to your conclusion from there, right? But man, the more I realize, man, like the more you say, the worse people get. It seems like sometimes, like you know, just on my own personal experiences, but trying to just at least bring opinions to the table for thought. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, or not even opinions and facts, just bringing facts to the table just to complete a thought. You feel me? Just to get somebody to make an informed decision on something. It's just like, it's like pulling teeth. It's just like you hit them with something that's like real and factual. And it's just like, you can't even fucking like, it's just like a hit with a haymaker punch or something. And they can't, and they're punch drunk. It's like, I'm not trying to, you know, make you rethink your entire fucking life. But I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes you got to with some of the shit that we're dealing with here, because it's some serious shit. And there's some shit that's, you know, real and it actually happens. It's happening. So
Facts.
I don't know. It's tough to do what we do, really, because it, you know, it requires a lot of patience, and sometimes, you know, that patience kind of runs thin. You feel me? Shout out to John from America. He said, "Yup, I feel you, bro." And then he also said, "Guy used to download phone apps from different websites, and now it's getting harder and harder to do that without having to use the Google Store." Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. They keep them APIs fucking hidden, man. And you can think bullshit like all these intellectual property laws for allowing them to do that as well. All these intellectual property, you know, acts and laws and shit they're trying to pass in the law, from keeping you to really be able to, you know, take that alternate route to get to that app or whatever you want to do, right? But yeah, shout out to John from America, man. Hey, Corn, anything else you want to touch about on this, you know, political spectrum? I mean, we went way off topic from that dude, but at the end of the day, that, you know, we said what needed to be said about him anyway. So
Nah, the same thing we say every time, man. Like, we now more than ever, we have to think about what we are doing, what we're watching, what we're consuming. There are times, man, that I watch stuff that I used to watch, you know, growing up, and I realize, wow, like this taught, you know what I mean? Like this taught us some fucked up shit. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
There's some things that I get that is kind of messed up, but it's there for a reason. And then there's just other stuff where it's just like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. They're pushing this agenda, they're pushing that agenda. Niggas didn't know it. I get it. Now more than ever, pay attention to the stuff that you do, the people you keep around you, like, because it's gonna get to a point where you're going to have to choose. And I've said that, you know, my mom said that about religious stuff ever since I was a kid. Turns out she was right, but not in terms of religion, but in terms of life, in terms of what we believe in, period. Whether it's religion, whether it's politics, whether it's, you know, goals, whatever, morals, doesn't matter. You are going to have to choose at this point. Like, it's getting closer and closer to where they're going to ask you, who did you support? And if you say one thing, that something is going to happen. There's no more framing celebrities anymore to do shit. There's no more threatening celebrities to do anything, because now we're seeing an all-time high where celebrities are offing themselves because they're getting tired of playing the fucking game. So now what? Now what? Now we're sitting here talking to people about everything that's going on in the world right now, let alone America and what they're doing. They're giving us all the ingredients to off ourselves as a society. Do not play the game. And if you do, you better be one step ahead of them, because if not, they're going to fuck you in every single way possible.
And that's coming down the pipe, folks. That's coming down the pike, folks. And can we really be one step ahead of them though? Or it doesn't seem like they're always 5 steps ahead of us, 10 steps ahead of us.
You can be one step ahead of them without them knowing you're a step ahead of them. That's the only way you can be a step ahead of them, if that makes sense. Because they thought that, I don't want to say they forgot, but the one way they fucked up is how you and I are sitting right here on this podcast every damn week.
Fair enough. That's fair
It's
enough.
because they're thinking that everybody, because we're the vocal minority, no pun intended, but we're the vocal minority. We're the people that we caught on. No one else caught on.
Right. But
That's how we can be one step ahead of them. It's because they're thinking no one is a step ahead of them because they gave us the blueprint. They gave us the ingredients. They gave us the whole layout. They gave us their game plan. Imagine being the New England Patriots and quote unquote visiting. What team was it back then? And they said they cheated on that they had spies on them with the Jets who were going to lose anyways.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're going to spy on all teams in the NFL. The Jets would not be one of them. But anyways, that's who we are. We could possibly be the England Patriots of life. I know that's a huge comparison, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say. Like they gave us the game plan, and they think we're not going to fucking use it. They think we're not going to be, or not use it, but they think we're not going to use it to our advantage. We're not going to be one step ahead of them.
Right, and that's the thing. When you think about it, you know, depending on when you come across, this sort of game plan, if you will, like, you can prepare if you take it seriously enough. Like, but that's the thing. Like, it's always there's all these deflectors that are thrown at this sort of information by society. Oh, it's a conspiracy theory. Oh, we got these bullshit fact checkers who I single-handedly debunked in a 30-minute video not too long ago. Is single-handedly debunked fucking fact checking. The AP's fact checking bullshit. Go check that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I remember.
My video on or CRISPR gene editing technology.
That's right.
I sat there and debunked the whole fact checking thing on that shit. Like, like
you were debunking people all week, honestly.
I kind of was. Yeah, I was on a rant. Yeah, that's what happens when that's when I'm a slave for a week.
A few of those videos, I was like, "Oh shit!" Yeah, I was like, "Oh yeah."
Had to go in, but yeah. So I lost my point now. But basically, they've got us baited hook, line, and sinker, bro. Like I said, to the point where we're wanting this upon ourselves. So really, the only thing left is to see how it plays out. Honestly, like I think at this point there's not much more that can be said unless they do some other crazy shit before that time, other than just see how it's going to play out. Because really, again, we can't we can't go in and actively fix something like that. We can't go and actively say, okay, well, we're going to stop them. Ready? And then you and I go out here and fucking and do what? Get snatched, clean the fuck up. What do you do? Where do you go? They're sitting here.
I'm waiting to see. I'm still trying to see what the consequence is for not taking this fucking vaccine. They keep pushing further and further that they're saying, "Oh, we're gonna have all people. We're gonna have what did they say? 800,000 people or something, or 8 million people vaccinated by March." Now they're saying, "Oh, we're gonna have 8 million people vaccinated by July." It's like, okay, all right.
That's because people aren't wanting to get that shit. Not as many people want that shit as they might make it seem. There's all kinds of healthcare rejecting it. All kinds of everybody.
By the way, comrades, or Comrade Nation, we haven't gotten a name for you guys yet, but to the audience, Comrades Nation, I was supposed to be interviewing 2 different people on the vaccine topic, and guess what happened? 2 pro-vaxxers. Guess what happened? Backed out at the last minute.
Backed out at the last
Both
fucking.
Both of them.
Look, we tried. we tried to, we tried to bring a pro-vaxxer on here and just have a conversation. The times were set up, the dates were set up. Just hours.
Sounds like a Tinder
before we were
date.
supposed to record. Backed out. Like
Sounds
you said,
like
bro.
a Tinder date.
Sounds like a fucking Tinder date. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is all just maybe this vaccine is just one bad Tinder date.
Maybe.
It's a little drastic, I guess. John from America says the consequences of death by ventilator. Facts. Facts. Getting on the ventilator, you have to hang it up, man. That's the last thing you want to do is get on a ventilator. That's damn near worse than getting the shit. To be
Who's
real.
in charge of your death certificate? That's the question.
Right. Right.
They might slap COVID on that bitch. Just for shits and giggles.
Oh yeah. They've been doing that too because you get you slap them on a ventilator, you get an extra 15 or 20 grand per patient, right? So you gotta if they're sick, you gotta make sure to get the ventilator. You get a little extra money. You know what I'm saying? Whereas just from them having COVID, you get a bonus and a little cash anyway. So the more things you can kind of attribute to COVID, the better, right? For the hospital, right? Isn't that how that goes? Because we can look at we can even just look at the medical system and how it acts right now. With everything's about treatment, not cures, not preventing disease. It's all to treat it enough to where you can keep coming back, you can keep buying pills, you can keep contributing to the hospital, etc. Getting them $100,000 surgeries, getting the insurance to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? That's how they get you. It's sad to say, but that's how it fucking works.
Yep.
You're hard pressed to find a doctor who actually does doctor things nowadays. It's all just this cut book of, okay, well, you're showing these signs and we treat it with this way, with this medicine, and we have these procedures for it. And I've got a lot of family members in the medical field. I'm hearing this from them. I'm from the horse's mouth. I'm not hearing this this isn't speculation, and I'm correlating it with things I'm seeing in my researches over the years. So this isn't just some half-cocked idea that I have that how the medical system operates. I know how it operates. And it's never been to make sure that people don't come back in that motherfucker no more.
It's to keep them coming back. Even as with subscriptions, appointments, setting up more appointments. Like that whole system is weird, bro. That whole system is weird.
So when can we get you back? Wait, nigga, what? Like, what? I'm good. Like, I'm straight. Like,
yeah, I'm good.
Get you on something. Oh, you got a little bit of this. Oh, well, here we got this for that. Unless it's something really, really minor where it's hey, just cut out the salt. Just chill on the salt or something. Chill on the sugar, right? It's a.
Do you think family doctors? You think family doctors are better because they've gained that personal relationship over the years with the family?
Maybe. But I think, maybe depends. I think it still depends on the doctor, but like Med Express for all your doctor needs and shit like that, or whatever.
Could you compare it to like the police force and say that it really? That's a dumb. Like you can. That's more of an individual based thing, I guess you could say. But at the end of the day, they do work for this. It's the same thing as policemen. They all work for this big. They all work for the bigger picture, and that bigger picture is Big Brother corrupt government,
right? And they all take an oath to the Constitution, and half of them ain't read the fucking Constitution. Because if they did, they wouldn't be doing half the shit they do. But again,
I remember.
You remember what?
I remember the other day at work. My boss was like, "Hey, go get he said, tell so and so to to go and do that, go and do this." I'm like, well, why would I tell him to go do that when so and so just did it like 2 hours ago? It's like, well, just tell him to do it because we're in charge of it, so they'll just do it. I'm thinking to myself, like, do you not see the problem with that? Like the fact just because we have authority, we just start like I never understand stuff like that. But that's the way Big Brother corrupt government works. Is we create these medical facilities, we make money off of these medical facilities. It's behind after the healthcare industry, it's education is what we make all our shit off of. So of course, and obviously taxes, from jobs and shit. But
yeah,
they created this entire system to fuck everybody up.
fucking.
How do you get more people to walk into these hospitals? Fuck up our food.
Yep. Don't encourage, disease prevention or don't encourage actual.
Put a McDonald's on every fucking corner.
Right.
They'll bite.
Right.
Shit, I do. I ain't gonna lie. I fall for it a lot of the time.
Hey man,
Shit, I don't feel like fixing nothing. Fuck. I'm going to McDonald's. Right around the corner.
At the end of the day, we're also humans. You know what I'm saying? You can't be, you're not going to be dialed in 100% of the time. I mean, it takes a special type of fucking person to do that, to be that dialed all the time, So, and since we're on this COVID talking train, we're going to talk about how fucking Welsh scientists have developed a COVID vaccine smart patch. Yes, the COVID vaccine smart patch. And by the way, we told you so on this, by the way. So scientists at Wales, Swansea University in Wales, of course, Great Britain, have developed a plan to create a smart patch that would administer the COVID-19 vaccine while also monitoring its efficacy. And it says here, and God knows what else. That's for sure. So Swansea researchers have developed the world's first smart vaccine patch. Gives the vaccine and measures the patient's response. Interesting. So in a post published by Unilad, the research team said it plans to develop a prototype by the end of March in hopes that it might pass clinical trials to be used before the global vaccination campaign finishes up. So they're hoping that they can basically get this out before the campaign's up. And when are they telling us that the campaign might be up? 2021, 2022. And now from what we've just said, it's sounding like it's going to drag on a little bit longer, maybe because people aren't wanting to take this vaccine. So they might have to institute some things. They might have to give you a couple more stimulus checks to justify forcing you to take it. Or they might have to do what LA County's doing and forcing all the students to take it before they come back into classes in person, and forcing all the teachers to take it. And what's going on in Virginia, where the teachers union is requesting the state require mandatory vaccinations for all the teachers before they come back to teach. So maybe this patch will come in handy, because then people will be able to say, "Oh, hey, we can just, I'll get the patch, slap it on there, gives you the jab, monitors your quote unquote reaction to it, I guess." And it's all good, right? So according to the research team, the patch will use microneedles to both administer and monitor the vaccine and its efficacy from the patient by tracking the body's immune response. So scientists basically say they hope to carry out the human clinical studies in partnership with Imperial College of London with the aim of making the device commercially available within 3 years. So, and it goes into how it works. Is basically a polycarbonate and silicon millimeter long microneedles. It penetrates the skin to administer. And then once it's administered, the device is scanned to produce a data reading that can produce an understanding of the vaccine. So we're pretty much looking at 2023, 2024. We might have us a vaccine smart patch, which then you got to think with everything else they want to do, they'll just tie that into the Internet of Things and say, oh well, since we've already got your electronic medical record, pretty much on the internet at this point, because again, you're going to have all these vaccine apps, which are eventually going to morph into a always on type of chip with all your information in it, including vaccination status. Because right now they're just doing paper. They're going to go from paper to smart patches to, you know, having your vaccination status information on a skip or a scannable or a chip or a scannable smart tattoo. And this is not theory. This is not bullshit. We've shown you. I'm just connecting dots that we've shown you on this podcast. You know, when you get the jab now, it's a paper card with both of your, with your vaccines and a little bit of vaccine information on it. Then 2 or 3 years from now, if the vaccine campaign is still going on, quote unquote, you're going to have the smart patch here. And then 2 or 3 years from that, you're going to have your smart tattoo with your status on it and all your information, or your chip. Said so by Bill Gates, the Great Reset, the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization. Need I list the alphabet agencies of the world who are pushing for that, crying for that, therefore getting people to agree to that. Yeah, man, this COVID smart patch, I think it's just a continuation of the bullshit, man. Continuation of the bullshit. Corin, what do you think, dude?
Well, you think about the world of, dystopia, right?
Right.
And you think about everything that we've seen, everything that we know about a dystopian world. This is the example. Scannable, like what? Like again, this isn't new because we talked about this last or 2 episodes ago about the scannable tattoos and the like the electronic tattoos and
it might have been
the chips and
no, I think
now they're talking about now they're talking about this smart patch.
Yeah, and this is actually arguably closer to reality / production than what we were talking about. That's just their plans. This is actually produced.
Yeah, this is scary, man. This is scary, and I know I say that every episode, but we read and research some wild shit. This is one of those things, and the fact that they've already done this, they've already tested it. They claim it works. They're saying the rollout's going to be 3 years from now. I mean, what 2 years from now? I say the rollout's going to be shorter than that.
Probably. Because everything
they've already tried giving out Operation. They've already pretty much done Operation Warp Speed on us.
Oh yeah, that's still ongoing. Yeah. Remember they said we're not stopping until every single American's vaccinated. The fucking general and the chief of Operation Warp Speed came out and said that shit.
Yep.
So that's just getting started. Just getting started.
I'd say hold out as long as you can. I mean, again, I don't know what that really does. That's the question, man. It's just like, can we hold out from doing it, man? Just
you can, man. You always got a choice, but it's how drastic is the choice going to be? What are the consequences?
But here's the other thing too: is that it's not like we said before. Like it's not a one and done thing. It's a continuation of getting vaccinated.
It probably
That's
will be.
the problem. That's the issue. Because if it weren't, they wouldn't be doing this shit. They'd say, "Hey, let's trust the process," like all these other robots.
That's facts, bro.
Brainwashed idiots say is trust the process. Trust the process. Believe in science.
Yep.
Okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, that's facts, bro. Because putting all this money and all this time into these clinical studies. I mean, the Welsh government funded this operation here. Like, they wouldn't be doing this if this shit wasn't going to continue to be a thing. So that's actually a good pickup on that.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, if they weren't continuing to do vaccines after everyone gets vaccinated, they wouldn't be doing this. So now we know for a fact it's not just you take the vaccine and 14 days later. No, it's Now you're gonna have to walk around, and this is their justification. You're gonna have to walk around with this shit on forever now, because it's not just gonna show. See, this is the introduction to it, to all of this, to the new identity of yourself. This whole great reset bullshit. This is the start of that. This is the introduction to that. It's going to be the vaccines. Oh, you have to prove that you're vaccinated. Okay. Now, then years later, it's going to be, okay, now you're going to have to prove your credit score. Okay. Now you're going to have to prove this and prove that. Well, why not do it the old school way? Pull up the fucking social security number. Oh, okay. Oh, that's too personal, right? Okay. Well, now we have this chip now that you can just read, or this patch now that you can just read or scan, and it shows everything that you're available to get. It gives them probably even more information than they should know about you.
Oh, of course. But that's the end goal here. You have to eliminate private rights and private property so that you can get everybody, so you can have this great reset they're talking about. You can level the playing field, quite literally level the playing field.
These vaccinations are going to be an afterthought.
Oh yeah,
2 years guaranteed. 2 years after the smart patch, because then guess what happens? The same thing that happens to a PlayStation 4, same thing that happens to your laptop. Once every 3 weeks or whatever, right? Depending on what kind of laptop you got. Updates.
Right.
Guess what you're gonna have to do to get an update? Go right back in and get your shit scanned. If you don't get that update, well, you don't have access to groceries. You don't have access to money. You don't have access to all kinds of shit. They are going to...
Jeez.
I'm telling you, man, I've watched way too... I knew that there was going to be a benefit to me watching so many fucking movies and shows as a kid, man. And hell, even now, growing up, just my entire life, I knew there was going to be a benefit to that. This is one of those benefits, dude. Like, we've seen this happen before.
Yep.
But we're never going to learn, man. We're never going to learn. It's always about, are you vaccinated? Are you this? Are you that? When it comes to these vaccinations, do you have it or do you not? Blah, blah, blah. That's how they're going to get the foot in the door.
Right.
And then once they do that, once all this COVID bullshit goes away, because everyone is vaccinated, then it's going to be like, oh, come right on in and get your updates. And it might not be forced at first with the patch. Oh yeah, you can just make sure you keep your patch though, because the great update is coming.
Yep,
it's going to be all about the great update.
The great update, and let us not forget this quote unquote vaccine is not FDA approved. Now, if you're going to even play in the whole FDA approvals meaning something that's safe or not safe, that whole thing is bullshit anyway, right? But this isn't even at that level of bullshit. This is under emergency authorization from the FDA. This is not an FDA approved vaccine. Let us not forget this. This is experimental. We're basically putting ourselves up to be lab rats right now. It's like, yeah, we got enough data to make us feel like this could be comfortable. We let it make us feel quote unquote comfortable to give this to people. Yet we've seen the side effects. We've gone over them in multiple podcasts. This is not anything that's been proven to be effective enough yet. And they're all these countries are, we're not happy with the rollout. The United States government has just asked every single state to ramp up their vaccinations. Great Britain is putting people into even more lockdown. They can't even fucking leave their house unless it's to go to the grocery store. And they better have groceries in their fucking car, because them police out there, they're not playing. They're arresting people for eating food in their car by themselves, for breaking curfew, breaking the lockdown. So y'all think that this shit that shit's just gonna be sweet, and we're gonna have this new president, new year, it's all gonna be good. I'm gonna get my vaccine and then I'll be able to go back to normal. You're wrong. You're dead wrong. Maybe quite literally dead wrong. But you're wrong. Because they're ending this one way, or they're ending this whole thing one way, and it's their way. Basically, but look, man, we're not going to tell you what to do. We're not going to tell you how you should do it. We're just laying out facts and opinions here, and we're essentially saying, hey, just think twice before you do some bullshit. Don't just listen to Fauci. You know what I'm saying? Don't just listen to CNN, MSNBC, Fox News. You know what I'm saying? And don't just listen to us. Listen to some other motherfuckers. You might learn something. They might say something way better than we say something. Because I know a lot of people say some shit, the same shit that we say, way more eloquently and way more drawn out with way more all these sort of feel good examples and shit. That's cool, but they ain't gonna give it to you like we give it to you. You feel me?
And at the end of the day, they're still playing the game too.
And at the end of the day, they're still playing the game.
A lot of them, not all, but
shout out to the ones that aren't. But yeah, man. That's really shit. That's what I gotta say on this shit, man. This vaccine shit, man, it's gonna keep. We're going to beat that topic to death here on this cast because there's just more and more stuff that keeps coming out about that stuff. It's just like, why on earth would you volunteer to take it?
Well, we said a few months ago. We actually had proof a few months ago that they're actually paying people $1,500.
Yeah, man.
I know the state of Iowa, they had they were paying people at almost $2,000. I mean, now everybody's clampering just to get them just for free. So no, they're not paying people anymore. I don't think, but now that everybody just witnessed the fucking Pence and what's her face Harris taking them. So and
keep in mind, we only saw their first dose. Where they second dose at?
Well, it hasn't been 2 weeks yet. Tomorrow hits 2 weeks, doesn't it?
Well, I think it's
Wednesdays, right?
I think it's 3 weeks. I think the
3
Pfizer.
weeks. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so it'll be next one. Next Wednesday.
So we'll see if they get their second dose, or live or not. That'd be interesting to see.
I don't even care if we get it live or not. I mean, they already got that first dose. It's over with, man.
I mean, pretty much.
It's over with.
After you get the second,
it's funny. They had a Republican and a Democrat both take them. So
yes, of course. Yes, of course. Again, it's a war for your mind. They're just playing with everybody out here at this point. Pretty much, man.
It's a whole game of Simon Says, man. Simon Says and a 24/7 game of 2K. That's all it is, man.
Pretty much. It's the world's longest game of 2K.
I'm kind of interested to see how fast they're gonna release these patches out. I know the rollout for these smart patches are not gonna be 2 years. Not gonna be 2 years.
I could see it being way less time than that.
Yeah, I could see these smart patches coming out like probably the rollout starting at the end of the year.
Yeah, I could see that.
Especially with everyone and their frustrations with whatchamacallit, their frustrations with this year, especially after last year. Everyone's hoping not to have the same kind of years we did last year.
Oh, we won't. It'll be worse.
I mean, economically, all of that. But you know what I mean. They don't want it They don't want it visibly. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to actually like see everything that happened last year with economy, the way it fell, financial people losing their job. Like they don't. People this year. I know it sounds weird for me to say it. People this year are gonna want to see like hope. And I think they're going to want it so bad that when they don't see it by the end of the year, or at a certain point this year, hell, could be the 20th.
It could be.
Everybody, there's just that cup is going to runneth over, and it's not going to be good, dude. Like, is just everything's going to fall? Yeah, it's not going to be good, man.
Yeah, I'm seeing trinkets of that as well. It's like people are like, all right, 2021 was bad, but 2020 was bad, but 2021, and we're gonna, the vaccine will be out, and we'll get that, and then hopefully, at the end of the year, 2022 will be back to normal, and we can go do everything we were doing, everything be just hunky dory like it was, and it's just like, dude, I don't quite see it that way. I know you don't either, but it's just I don't think. I mean,
because I have to look.
It's a new normal. Like we're not going back to the way things used to be.
Yeah, man. I have to look at it at different perspectives too, man. Like there's so many perspectives. Yeah. I have to look at it personally, professionally, fucking hobby wise. You know what I mean? Just all different angles at it, because it's just like we got to find a way to live in this world too, man. We got to find a way to plan it. Like this sucks for our generation, because we have to plan a future with literally not knowing how the fucking future is gonna fucking turn out. Literally not knowing like that. What the way we live life now is not, because essentially we knew obviously it's going to change over time. We get that, but actually living in this day and age and seeing all the shit that's happening, like it's really hard to kind of plan a future when you don't know when your morals are going to be challenged.
Yeah,
and it's going to be life or death. That's the thing, because again, we can't say anything about our parents' generation, but we can say for some generations before us where they could plan out a future and having their morals challenged, but still getting away with choosing a profession where they can tolerate having their morals challenged. Us, not so much. This generation, not so much. Because even outside of work, your morals are being challenged. Then you come to work and you're starting to see these large businesses choosing your morals, choosing your thoughts, choosing everything for you. And if you disagree, well, you may not have a career in that field, period, anywhere else, if word gets out that you don't agree with Black Lives Matter. To me, I think that is the worst. That is the worst thing that could happen to somebody. We just saw who fucking lost their job? Someone, god dang it. Someone lost their job over something stupid, or had an opinion on something, and completely lost their job. I forgot who it was, but it doesn't matter. It was a nobody, but they had a certain opinion that they didn't really agree with in a press conference where they said something like Black Lives Matter. It's like, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to do some stupid ass chant or something, and someone didn't really. Not even that they didn't agree with it. I mean, it turned out that they didn't agree with them, but they didn't even say they didn't agree with them. They said they just sat back and didn't say anything, and then they ended up getting fired. Like I forgot what the example was, but it was a nobody from like some like corporate fucking company somewhere that I saw on one of the news channels on YouTube. And we're to that point to where they're censoring people. They're taking away jobs. They're taking away opportunity. Like everywhere you turn. How are people not freaking out? Because the president's no longer president? That affects your personal life?
Yes, of course. Dude, people are crying themselves asleep at night over this shit.
Just as they did in 2016 too, which is crazy.
What's that?
As they did in 2016 as well, which is crazy.
On both sides too. At least in this case, it's both sides. That 2016, it was maybe one side. This case is the other side. People are crying themselves asleep at night. Can't sleep. Makes them sick to their stomach because the you know what, quote unquote. We can't even say those words anymore because they are getting banned by this platform that we're on. Look, man, that's why I say, man, the biggest psyop of our time. We're in the midst of it right now. Because this is going, like you were saying, man, this is the point where you're going to have to stand on your morals. Or if you don't have any, you're going to have to fucking figure out what they are real quick. So if you don't have any, it's over with for you. You have no morals or no standards or nothing that you stand on as a human being. It's over with for you. You better figure something out.
Ain't no independent in this.
No.
Ain't no third party in this, man.
I'll just go with the flow with this.
Yeah,
Ain't
ain't
none
no
of that.
gray line. It's either
Mm-mm.
black or white. This is crazy, man. This is nuts to me. You know, I never thought we'd ever see this in our lifetime. And then the more research we did, and the more research we did.
True.
And then I'm like, oh my God, dude, like we are more fucked. Sometimes I do wish I never would have found any of this shit out. Sometimes I do wish. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There are some days I'm like, man, I kind of do. There's at the end of the day, I still would be miserable, way more miserable than I am now if I were. But sometimes I do. Sometimes there's some days where I look at people, I look at society, I'm like, sometimes I wish I was brainwashed. Like maybe life would be just a little bit easier if I was brainwashed. But then I think about it, I'm like, I could never do that because I couldn't. I cannot drink the Kool-Aid, dude. I did it. I did it for so much of my life. I got tired of it. That's the same way I
Yeah.
feel about Kool-Aid, actually.
Fair
But
enough.
you know, it's like, man, I drink so like it's I did everything y'all told me to do. Talking to the government, obviously. But like I did everything y'all told me to do. And I still get nothing in the end. I'm still a slave.
Yes, of course.
There's no independence. There's this or that or whatever. I'm like, all right, word. Like this is what life has to like. This is. And again, there's still cool things that I feel like after the vaccine and after if stuff. I mean, obviously, eventually, society will open back up again. Markets will open back up. Like shit. Like the public will be public again. I get that, but to an extent this time. And that's what I feel like is one of the bigger messages, one of the larger messages taken from this entire past 12 months, you know, is that we'll go back to what do we call it? Normal. But again, like we always say, new normal. To an extent, it'll cost you probably literally an arm and a leg, if not your brain. They've seen us live off of sanity for so long. Off of just pure sanity.
Yeah.
And look where that got us. Look at how long we were able to stay sane, staying at home for, a month, months.
Very long.
Now you're telling now and then apparently they're telling us like dumbasses. They told us, in 2021 there's hope. They even televised it live a few times on YouTube and on your news channels.
Yep.
Of the said hope.
Yep.
And yet no one gets that hope in 2021 so far. Now people are going crazy. They're going stir crazy. So on top of politics and the presidential shit going on, you got the COVID shit going on. That's an entity in itself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and
Then
you know what's come out now about that? Let me interrupt you, but you know what's come out now about that? Now they're saying all these Congress members are coming up positive for COVID and getting sick, and they're blaming that on the quote unquote insurrection, the quote unquote riot. So now they're saying it was
they didn't go anywhere near the people.
That's what I'm saying. But I guess since they were touching everything, I guess they didn't disinfect it. Quote, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. This shit is a fucking theater. It's theater.
They got COVID on the papers.
Yeah. And on the chairs. No, they're saying members of Congress and shit getting sick with COVID after the shit. Yes, of course. I'll say it again. We are in the greatest psyop of mankind. Sooner people realize that, the better. You're being duped. You're being played. You're being manipulated. And you're being led to fucking pasture. You know, we try to keep it fun and light and shit on this podcast, but sometimes it's got to get real, man. Shit's getting real right now, unfortunately. But then at the end of the day, you got to go home. You got to hang up the mic. You got to stop the live stream. And you got to live your fucking life, right? You know what I'm saying? You read you watch the news. You got to get up and go slave to pay theft, and also feed yourself a little bit in the process, and pay the man. Right? You still got to live life. You still got to have the balance of, positive and negative, because maybe not necessarily positive and negative, but I don't mean it as good, and I don't mean that as good and bad. I mean equal and opposite reactions. Things that happen in life. You need that balance. For every dark podcast, you got to have a, when you get off, you got to go do something fun. You know what I'm saying? You got to go cut a video game on it or do something to balance yourself out, or else you go fucking crazy with this shit. You go fucking crazy doing this shit. You go crazy knowing the shit that you know. You go crazy listening to us, quite honestly. So don't forget that you have to balance out things. I forgot that in 2020, and it fucked me up. So don't forget you got to balance some shit out. But that's my last message, man, for tonight. I don't know if you got anything else you want to say.
No, that was actually a pretty good. That was actually pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you said it better than I would. So yeah, yeah. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe here on Contemporary.
Yeah, that too. Well. Don't forget to do that, because we got more fire coming. We got merch coming. Like I said, contemporarycomrades@gmail.com. If you want a shirt, it's pretty much just a logo on the bitch. But I mean, you can imagine that, right? If you want a shirt, hit us up. We got more fire coming, man. We got some. We got an interview in the works right now from another up and coming hip hop artist from another area. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Y'all be looking out for more solo videos, dropping more heat. We got another "Are You Not Entertained" video coming soon. So y'all just stay on the lookout, man. We got more shit on the way, basically. And without further ado, I'm gonna close it out with some tunes. It's been a Contemporary Comrades podcast. Thank you everybody for watching. If y'all wanted to kick it and listen to some fucking metal with us, we've been on a metal kick lately, man. We'll bring the hip hop back in a little bit. Right? It's just hitting me right now. I play the music based on how I'm feeling. It's just hit me this way right now. So thank you for watching again. It's been a Contemporary Comrades podcast, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace out. Who is this again?
This right here is Hollow Front, but the song I played before was by Contortionist at the beginning of it. Yeah, this right here is Hollow Front.
Hollow Front?
Yeah. The song's called Don't Fall Asleep. Don't Fall Asleep by Hollow Front. That's what it's called.
I fuck with it though. I fuck with it.